When donors come in and they're assessing our capacity when it comes to program management, they're looking at the first thing they're looking at, how do our programs feed into the mission, the vision of our organization? Does it make sense? Is it connecting? Is our theory of change very clear based on what we are doing and our vision within our communities? How do our everyday activities feed into the national plans, the sustainable development goals, and any other global goals that we have? You need to show evidence of your capacity to plan. Do you have the work plans? Do you have the detailed implementation plans as an organization? What does your work plan say? Not just a work plan, but goes further to, does it say what needs to be done, by when, by who? It has to be very detailed. Do we have a log frame of the activities you're doing? You're not just operating blindly, so that can they track? You need to have a log frame. Does it show all those things, like how does your input activities contribute to the output, contribute to the outcome, the impact, and the overall goal? They need to see that as an organization, as a donor, not just the paperwork, but how it is actively living on the ground. What is the results framework? We have very good work plans with a detailed implementation plan, with a results framework. But again, our burn rate is very low. We're looking at situations where you are given 1 million and you are struggling to use that 1 million within the stipulated time. So a donor with 5 million will go back. They're like, no, I think their burn rate is very low. So do you have the activity cost output tracker? Can you track it? Are you doing the activity at the right time? So the donor wants to see, do you have the adequate burn rate? Because sometimes donors can go away, not because they're not doing your work right, but because they feel like, no, you do not have a capacity to run that magnitude of a project. And at times, what we can do even as organizations, when you think or you feel that you are maybe too small to attract that kind of funding, how about creating partnerships? How about forming an alliance of similar organizations with maybe same level organizations, or an alliance with big organizations for you to be able to also increase your burn rate and also increase your attractiveness? So that is what donors want to see. So before they come to your door and say that, we are not giving you our money, you have already created and formed an alliance with another organization. So when they come, they're coming to meet as an alliance with joint effort. Impact sustainability framework. Sometimes the works that we do, at the end of the day, as organizations, because we are in Africa and we rely on not just local resource mobilization, we still rely on donor funding. So with the shrinking donor funding, shrinking civic space, what does it mean to us as non-profit organizations? It means we need to find ways of ensuring that the government is slowly uptaking what we are doing. And so this I've seen through mobilizing government support in our work. We push the government to have policies regarding that. Maybe within our communities, we can say, for example, when it comes to gender-based violence, women have to bear the cost of the medical care, the recovery, the psychological support. But when government has a policy around it, then that means it has guaranteed, it will set aside a budget. When the government puts a policy about something, that means they'll have to put a budget. They're expected to have, they're obligated to put aside a budget or resources for that. So that means the government is slowly taking up some of those things that we are doing because we have documented the results. So in such a situation, that shows our impact we have created. And when we talk about impact, let us not just look at the larger picture. Let us learn to document the very small success stories. We were pushing to have maybe a fully fledged gender-based violence recovery center within our community. We do not have that yet. So that means you cannot afford, we cannot provide boarding facilities within our communities. But if we have pushed for us to have just a small desk in a health facility that can offer psychological support, that can offer free medical examination for victims or survivors of gender-based violence, that is already a success story. There is a policy change or there is a behavior change within our community. So let us not just document big impacts, the one we are looking at. What about those small impacts that we've created as we wait to achieve the bigger impact? What about the few partnerships we've created? What about the awareness we've created? Just by doing our work, what conversations have we started? That is impact. So how do we document such small stories? We need to make sure that we document those small stories and blow our trumpet around it. So donors want to see what is the impact sustainability when we are no longer intervening as an organization. how will this work continue? So we are looking at, are we able to support communities so that they can slowly uptake, can take lead in doing what we are already doing as an organization? How do we push the government to take up some of what we are already doing as an organization, so that by the time we are closing shop, or by the time we are moving into a different aspect, they can take up those roles, in taking lead? And then how do we prove participation of our staff, beneficiaries, and community? We need to see the minutes, the reports that our staff who are working on GBV have been able to discuss about this program and review, so that we can take a new direction. Our communities have voiced an opinion that we need to change our strategy. We need to see those minutes, we need to see those reports, the photos, the videos, and not just photos with the location timestamp, videos with location timestamp help a lot. So how do we share all this about our work, program management? Donors want to see that we are able to implement that project with a social license, with government green light, and also with the support of our team within organization. Then the other thing that donors also look at when they have come to our doorstep to see that, are we fit for the partnership, is the human capital of organization.